Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that trailer from the Seventh Son. Definitely makes me want to watch it more. I'm pretty into the fantasy, epic sci-fi genre. That's partially why everyone loved Lord of the Rings so much because it just helped redefine and bring to life the books. And we'll definitely be able to check out Seventh Son as well, so we'll do that. This is, of course, part of the reason why this week is so nuts with the Master Builder King of the Hill. We had $7,000 to give away, funded by the Seventh Son people over at Legendary Films. So thank you so much to them. 7 matches, 7 players, 7 different legendaries and different decks with 7 different mana costs. I think you can sense a theme here. And I think you can also sense a theme with this guy coming up to challenge Dog, the current king. Xixo once again has qualified through an open bracket to get to where he is, and he is the member representing Archon this week, as he'll be taking on Complexity's Dog, who defeated Hyped 3-1, despite seeing some really cool, unique decks from both players.
Yeah, it's a really impressive lineup of players as it is, and Xixo already guys made a name for himself qualifying through the open bracket. Really exciting stuff, and of course, thanks to Seventh Son, we have a pretty big prize pool to give away for this week, so these guys have a chance to win some big money.
Now, from this point on, if Xixo beats Dog, he can steal 25% of the money. Actually, it's not a choice. Not he can. He will. He'll be taking $250 away from Dog and be adding it to his own. So this is a money match for him to win $1,250. If Dog wins, he just gets another 1,000 because Xixo has 0, and 25% of 0, I'm pretty sure is 0.
We'll have to get a confirmation on that. Yeah.
We'll have to get a confirmation. We'll have our best men on it. But so if Dog wins, he just doesn't really get anything. So this is a way for us to reward people or to help close the gap between people who play later in the day. So that way, match 4 or 5, they still get a chance to win some big money. Because say Dog wins 3 in a row, then that fourth person, which I believe is Trump, or maybe Reynad, would win that money, like $750 plus the 1,000.
Yeah, and we saw Dog have a lot of success with the Druid deck in that last matchup. Close out the series with Rogue. Didn't get to see the Hunter, which is pretty interesting because of those of you who are just joining us, to fit along with our Seventh Son theme, every player has to put 7 legendaries in their deck, and every legendary has to be a different cost.
That's right. It can't be just every single Nose to Remove dragon.
Yeah, well, you could. Well, no, you could.
No, you can't because there's too many costing the same mana.
But yeah, so Hunter seems like a little bit of an awkward deck to fit 7 different cost legendaries in it. So,
but he's bringing Hunter.
I know he's bringing Hunter. That's what I'm saying. So it's going to be really interesting. Xixo, on the other hand, also has a Hunter. So these guys have the exact same class lineup. Druid Rogue Hunter. That's really cool, actually.
It's cool. I want to see if there's variations across the board. We already saw that Hype chose to bring Sneeds, which never really made an impact. And Dog chose Kael'Thuzad. I'm pretty sure Xixo might go along the same lines as that, like the Kael'Thuzad. The question becomes, is he playing King Mukla, or is he playing like Tinkmaster, or is he playing Nat Pagal, or is he playing Blood Mage Thanos? Which, a lot of these questions doesn't seem too far off to assume that he's playing more of like the Tinkmaster Thanos variant.
Yeah.
But I'm more interested in this Hunter deck.
Yeah.
Is it finally time to see a control Hunter, DJ?
I think it is. I think you could sort of have to.
See the Stormwind. Is this not Stormwind? The Storm Snipe Weedle or something?
Something like that. The Steam Weedle Sniper.
The
Steam Sniper.
The Stomp Wild Swindler?
Stoop Kid?
I have no idea what that card is. All I know is it allows you to use your hero power on minions instead. Maybe it'd be cool to see that. I don't know. A lot of theory crafting on that one.
It allows you to target your hero power at the face instead of it automatically going there.
That's right. And you can finally start... you can target your own face if you have Molten Giants.
You could. Well, that could be the deck. Molten Giant Hunter.
I mean, it's kind of like tapping, except you don't draw.
Watch your...
Fantastic.
I mean, you want to make cheaper Molten Giants, right?
Yeah.
Well, he's got Hunter's Mark in there, so it's definitely more respectful for the control. I would have to assume that Hunter's Mark is one of the most important cards with the popularity of Druid, as well as a lot of late game legendaries. I wouldn't be surprised to see 2. This could be an opportunity for players to use Hunter to punish punish control decks as well for being too greedy.
I think right after Undertaker nerf is actually probably the best time to play Hunter. Because everybody's sort of overreacting to the Undertaker nerf, so they're getting really greedy with their decks. So it's the best time in the world right now to play face Hunter.
I'm not sure what to think about Xixo's hand, because it's like one of those things where I'm not sure if he's playing Undertaker anymore. Even if he is, it's like this hand is so awkward. It's got so many 3-cost cards. Guys, I'm trying to cast here. Stop interrupting me. Jeez.
Squelch. We had a double squelch here.
Alright, Osaka, I need you to do me a favor and smack Xixo in the back of the head.
Dog actually has half of a mannequin hanging in his window behind him. He uses that to practice his BM.
Yeah, I suppose so. They're just getting warmed up. Alright, well, Xixo's hand's finally starting to carve up a little bit. Ragnaros, the 8-mana legendary of choice, which makes sense. We saw Life Coach experiment with this a lot in DreamHack. Dog whipping out cards as fast as he possibly can. This matchup is really tough for a rogue, like we said, because you're utilizing your hero power and health as a resource, but you know, Hunter's already draining it a lot, so it's a very, very tough matchup already.
If you're a little dizzy right now, it's okay. These are two of the fastest, notoriously fast players in competitive Hearthstone. Xixo was born and bred on the ladder, so it's just by nature.
Right.
Dog, I don't know. Dog's just a fast player also, so.
Blood Mage Thanos, making kill command 6 damage.
Wow! And Houndmaster. Well, this is, I mean, it just seems like pretty mid-rangey Hunter with just some legendaries thrown in. Maybe Dr. Boom could be a good 7-drop here. Loatheb's probably plopped in here somewhere. Black Knight could even be a legendary that you could put in a more mid-range Hunter. So,
is this the time to use? It's so annoying. Black Knight is like the ideal target because it's like there's not many taunts.
yeah.
You already used both animal companions, but it's like that's it. You're still gonna be taking damage. King Muklu would also be milling.
Mistakes won't sorry.
Wow.
Oh gosh,
That's rough.
he's gonna fill the hand.
He's gonna lose.
He only has space for 1 banana.
Oh my gosh! That's as much Mukla value as you can possibly get. You only give him 1 banana.
I think Dog's already resigned that he probably has a strong chance of losing this game. He's gonna need to draw Eviscerate very soon. This prep needs to pick up something big.
I don't.
If he might have to prep Sap. Still has a chance to pick up Shiv or some kind. You know what? That's not too bad of a draw. What's funny is that King Muka will once again have an opportunity to mill here. But
Yeah.
I think this is starting to get to the mana cost where Ragnaros becomes a legitimate threat.
Yeah, he has the Blade Flurry here. I mean, to get him further through his deck, but also just because of the fact that he can't even afford to take damage. Rag's going to be plopped down here, and I mean, regardless of where this goes, it's going to be a good thing. Putting him at 4 health. I don't even know what's going on,
No,
man.
it's Snake Trap. That's actually very important to know. I think this means certain death, though, because I believe 2 Unleashed Hounds is enough to finish it off.
Indeed it is. And we only got a little taste of this Hunter deck, but
There were more emotes this game than cards played.
this is true.
And that's not even like, I mean, that's just so fast. It was just saying that how quickly the Hunter was able to dissect Rogue and how Xixo was absolutely correct to start off with this.
Rogues just generally have a rough time against Hunters, especially the faster the Hunter gets, the harder it becomes, because a lot of times they have like immediate impact cards where they'll just do damage to you, and then sometimes you have to spend weapons to remove it, which just makes you take more damage. They can just outrace you in most situations, so it's just a really rough matchup for them, and Dog just could never really get his footing.
Yeah, so now he's going to have to turn to another deck, whether it's his own Hunter or his Druid deck. I would assume his Druid is
Druid.
better equipped at dealing with it.
Yeah.
Part of the reason why Druid might have trouble early on is dealing with that early Undertaker starts. But there's just a big wall of taunts that after a while you can't get through. Dog did grab some valuable information too. He's playing cards like Ragnaros. He has 2 Unleash the Hounds. These type of cards, you're never sure if they're varying them, right? Is he only playing 1 Unleash the Hounds with Knife Juggler, or is he squeezing in other things? You know, Snake Trap, for example, is also pretty big, so that way he can test for it and swipe later. It's not the end of the world, even though Dog's down 0-1.
Yeah, and the heavy ramp Druid was a lot of it was created because of the fact that hunters were so popular. Putting up huge walls is one of the things that hunters have trouble dealing with. I mean, they could tech in Hunter's Mark, but it doesn't allow them to get through everything, and so I think this is a pretty decent matchup for Dog. Now, it's not super heavy ramp, like it doesn't run, well, it does run Senjits, but no Sludge Belchers, doesn't seem to be. He does run combo in this one. But there's Dr. Boom.
Dr. Boom makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Does that mean he's still playing Undertaker? Maybe just nothing's changed. Maybe Xixo just plays Hunter with Undertaker and gives 0 doo-doos.
Nice. I mean, Undertaker can still be a big threat, especially if you can get it going. I don't think it has as much of a place. I think there's a lot of cards that you can put in exchange for it.
Like
Yeah, like Houndmaster, Cold Master.
Nature will rise against you.
Nice.
I mean, I was just sitting there just like waiting to see who's going to stop first. It's one of those like really petty arguments that you see happening all the time at school. It's like, you're a fart knocker. No, you're a fart knocker.
There's no
And
point
you're waiting
intervening.
for one of them to finally stop because it's like at this point they both realize it's gone way too long.
Just gotta wait for him to hug it out.
Wild Growth's still a pretty big deal, even though you got that coin off. This Druid of the Claw will stop a lot of the damage, and he needs to save the Shade for 1 more, so that way he doesn't just lose it. But Knife Juggler could change all that. And also, Cult Master. Ooh.
I really like the combination of Colt Master with Unleash the Hounds and Snake Trap. Just because it can allow for some big swing plays. Because a lot of players underestimate the value of card advantage when you're playing Hunter. Because having those kill commands quicker or just really anything quicker. I mean, card advantage is good no matter what matchup you're playing, no matter what class you're playing. But I think Colt Master was even a card that was played even when more aggressive Hunters were popular, just because refill your hand with even more aggressive cards is never a bad thing.
Yeah, true that. Well, Xixo's finally had a turn where he can stop and evaluate what he wants to do. This Druid of the Claw is very threatening, and any 3-mana card that he plays also needs a little bit of extra juice. The cleanest way to kill a Druid of the Claw is to use a weapon. But he's just going to opt to use the Freezing Trap instead. It's fine for Dog, because now he has another source of heal if he can just let this Ancient of Lore be bounced. So he's going to draw first. Is he going to do anything, though? Is he just going to save it so he doesn't activate it?
Yeah. Does pick up the Innervate, so next turn he can have some pretty big plays.
Yeah, he's got 9 mana available to him. He doesn't have Harrison Jones, even though that's in his deck. He doesn't have it yet. And that might be also a valuable way to stem some of the damage.
Yeah.
My greetings. My thanks to you.
This is still this is a good way to remove it, and he can be pretty liberal with his cards at this point.
Right. Definitely.
That Tenderano did come from Web Spinner.
And, you know, it's okay if the Ancient of Lore ends up getting bounced back, because it would give him some health.
Yep.
He also knows that it's Snake Trap. He knows there's a possibility of Snake Trap. So it's one of those things where, you know, if he was able to guess the correct trap, then he'd be in a good spot. But if he doesn't, he's also in a tougher spot.
And he actually holds off on the attack here. Because at the risk of not knowing what the trap is, he just doesn't want to test for it until he knows that he's going to have a good board position regardless of what the trap is.
Give extra damage too.
Yeah.
King Mukla. So he's playing he's playing an additional legendary. I believe that is against the rules. Just kidding.
Well, I mean, King Mukla with Tenderano on the board. 5.
Yeah, pretty
3
sure.
3 mana, 5 damage charger.
Pretty sure Dog's done here. I don't know if he can do anything here. I think Master needs to transform some of these into a 1/1. Okay.
It just gave him another beast.
Yeah, that's true. I guess so. But King Mukla should be enough to just push through here, I believe, right? You just play King Mukla and Charger.
Indeed.
Ooh,
Deathwing.
there's a Deathwing in this deck.
Deathwing Hunter.
Wow, Xixo very quickly dispatching Dog's Druid deck, saying, I don't want Druid to be taking any more wins, and he is up 2-0. Dog is going to have to 3-0 with Hunter.
Yeah, and this Hunter deck seems pretty good from Xixo. Had a key Cult Master early on, allowed him to refill his hand, which was a big deal. And, I mean, with a lot of mid-range creatures in there, he's got a lot of pretty moderate-sized bodies that can match up with a lot of the initial taunts that the Druid's going to throw out. So that was pretty good.
It's a very quick series, much faster than I anticipated as well. But I think that's what you get when you have two of the fastest players around, which I can appreciate for sure. It's like a guy like Dog and Xixo, they're actually comparable in a way, or comparable. Both of them have played a lot of qualifiers. Pardon, by the way, the overlay. Xixo's on Archon Gaming. Both of them got through a lot of qualifiers in the past to get to where they are. Like, people look at Xixo as a guy who qualifies a lot, but Dog also went through, the Seed Story qualifiers, the DreamNet qualifiers. Both are well known for seizing the top of Legend, and both of them are guys who've also carved a name for themselves, just solely through playing a lot of games.
Yeah, Xixo, I first heard about him reading. Back-to-back months, he was actually the first player to hit Legend in EU. So he sits down, new season comes out, sits down, has a huge, long gaming session, and just hits Legend. And it's really impressive stuff. Dog as well. In his very initial streams, people started watching him just because of how informative he was and just how he just spammed ladder games over and over and over again. And top while still playing really fast. It's amazing how fast he can play while still being able to say what he's doing articulately. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, Dog's definitely one of the best educational streams. I think Xixo is also starting to stream more often and keeping up the momentum there. So, we'll see how this develops too. Xixo is a recent addition along with Nadia, I believe. Archon's had some roster changes in the past few days. Hosty was also released. So we'll see if they fill that spot. Maybe Xixo will take over what Hosty was supposed to do and fill in that time slot in terms of streaming. For now, he's staying with the Root House. That's probably the confusion there. Xixo's still in California.
All right, well, I'd say this is a decent hand for both players. This is actually a pretty good curve for Xixo. I talked earlier about if you can get a turn 3 Mukla to stick, followed by a turn 4 Houndmaster. I mean, a turn 4 7/7 is not something that's easy to deal with, especially in Hunter, against the Hunter, who doesn't usually run a BGH.
Yeah, I think your fear is for Hunter's Mark, because then they play the tempo and they gain a little bit of it back just through... well, they gain a lot back, actually, because you committed 3 mana, they committed 0. So that's one thing that's in the back of the mind. Ooh. Not sure what to think about Leok here. If this is Explosive Trap.
If he had gotten Huffer, he could have coined out a banana and been able to clear off the Mukla.
Right. But I think Leok was definitely the worst one there.
Well, Houndmaster seems pretty obvious, but he thinks it over for a second.
Yeah, it's definitely like the most painful now. Do you kill off this Leok? That's missing a lot of damage. All right, he's gonna use his 100 mark here instead.
This matchup is usually very, very quick, and
oh, it's snake trap. We didn't see that trap.
no,
So now he can deal with it.
yeah, especially with.
Oh!
Oh no!
Oh man! Wait. Oh, okay, doesn't really matter. Dang. I think Xixo knows what time it is.
Yeah. Usually in the Hunter vs. Hunter matchup, around like turn 5, whoever has
Oh,
overwhelming.
uh-oh. It went to the face. Alright. It just needs to stop hitting the face.
Stop it in the face.
One more to the minion. Alright. So he doesn't get to keep any of these small 1/1s. Fortunate, but the point is he cleared the board. That is a big rubber band effect because Xixo was banking on that to be his primary way to carry him. Just look, he has no minions to play in the mid game other than this IOB Owl.
Yeah, I think he must have made the read there that was an explosive trap.
Right.
And so that's why he expended the Hunter's Mark. And
Yep.
if that had been Freezing Trap, it would have punished him as well. Basically just would have essentially been a wasted Hunter's Mark.
Now that definitely has messed up everything up. Second Hunter's Mark having been used, but what is he gonna do about this high main?
And then after that high main, another high main, and the potential to even banana one of his high mains.
I just want to point out, by the way, that 3 to 4 weeks ago you used to mock me every time I said Deathwing and Hunter. Now we see 2 players both playing Deathwing and Hunter.
You know, Dan, I have a golden Deathwing.
He does too. Look, he has a gold Deathwing.
Whoa! We're basically the same person.
Oh man,
How do you deal with a bananaed high main?
big game Hunter.
You would think that a banana would not have that much effect on a lion.
Spectator mode can't even keep up with these players. They're playing so fast.
It increased that lion's power
Oh, that's
level
actually a really big deal.
by like
a lot
15%.
of damage. It's actually a very big deal. Iron Beak Owl to get the juggle.
Uh-oh.
Alright. So I guess do you kill Rag here? Do you ignore it? Do you just go ham? I mean, you'd be setting up for a lethal yourself, but it's always scary because you're leaving it to chance. There is a chance.
Oh
if
my
Xixo
goodness.
lines this up, he will win the game.
He can actually make it a 50-50.
That's right.
That's crazy.
If Xixo wins this game, he will win the series 3-0.
Here we
And
go.
also should consider playing in tomorrow's Super Bowl game. Is he gonna rope? Oh, he gets up!
Oh
and he
no!
leaves!
What?
6-0 AFKs. He's gonna let the rope burn out because he doesn't want to see the verdict of what happens. He's gonna go get a glass of OJ. Maybe prepare a little bit of salt with that too. Dog's just sitting here too. By the way, they're on a call together, and I think Dog just finally realized that like.
Greetings, traveler. Gonna go get himself a nice salt-rimmed glass of OJ.
All right. Well,
He's
I think
back.
6-0 did maybe a couple of wall push-ups there to get himself pumped up.
Went and said a little prayer to Iron Jesus.
Well played.
You know, maybe he did a Ragnaros dance. There's like a ritual of some kind. But he's gonna let this rope burn out. I mean, you don't end turn now. You don't let the rope start burning just to see what happens. But this is basically the game because there's enough damage the opposite way.
Oh man. Dramatic effect. Xixo, you sly dog, you.
Here we go! Oh! Dog stays alive, and well, the 6-0 showmanship did not pay off, but
No, it did not.
I like it. I like where this is going.
Alright, well, I guess that makes up for the fact that these guys just play really quickly. That whole game was about as fast as one life coach turn.
Well played, sir. Well played. Well, not really sure what to think. I think 6-0 definitely wanted to end that series with a bang and be like, yeah, like deal with it, sunglasses moment. But now the series continues, and he has to win with something else. And would have been really powerful is not only 6-0 winning the way he did, but he also would have 3-0 with Hunter, which means, well, he doesn't have to show his other two decks moving forward.
And these guys have the same decks, so it is going to be just mirrored. I mean, this could end up being a 500 win. So Xixo's going to go up against his Druid, and then he'll have Rogue as his last deck if Dog's able to tie it up 2-2.
I want to give props, though, that 6-0 was willing to throw in a little personality and showmanship there. I liked it. I personally did.
Me too, man.
And I'm pretty sure Twitch chat will love that when they catch up to it on stream. We're on a pretty significant delay, guys, so we'll let you guys know what the reactions are. But I personally love those kinds of things because it's like a moment in poker where, like, they all in. Now, the difference is that 6-0 was on the verge of winning, not elimination. If he was, like, down 0-2, I would have been okay with that.
And they stand up and they go to the stands and.
Well, it's more like, you know, when they all in poker, they get up and they're just like talk because they don't know what to do. There's just like a lot of emotion, so they just wait for the dealer to flip the card.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what it is. It just didn't go that way, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like the embarrassing thing where he has to sit down and keep playing. Normally you just like pick up, you scoop up, and you just leave the table. But in this case, it's like, well, I guess I didn't.
Sit down and pick a new deck.
It's like you're the chip leader, and then you're standing up when you're like trying to take someone out. It doesn't really.
When you like call someone's all in.
Yeah, and then you stand up. That's not usually how it works, but I like where this is going. I think he has a great idea on his hands.
All right, well, it looks like it's Dog's turn to put on the hurt. And Wild Growth, still a good start.
That didn't quite.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Well, Misha's rather problematic, even though it's one turn delay damage. That extra health is actually a big deal. So Wrath can't deal with it. But now 6-0 did pick up Swipe.
Mad Scientist, there wouldn't be a way to clear that off as well, but taking that 4 damage off the board is actually a pretty big deal at this stage.
What to do?
He does have a decent early hand. Keeper is always something that you love to have in your hand, especially against more aggressive decks.
Well, you're not happy to see traps being drawn here, just because you'd rather have the Mad Scientist pull them. And this is primarily why sometimes people cash in on the Mad Scientist if they know it's going to die anyways. So that way they don't draw the secret. But who knows? Maybe 6-0 didn't want, or sorry, maybe Dog didn't want the Snake Trap to be played anyways. So like he'd rather have Freezing Trap come out against Druids, so he keeps it in his hand.
Yeah,
give or take.
There's a fine line. Fine line.
Sure.
I must safeguard them.
And there's also a fine line between whether or not you kill the Mad Scientist or whether or not you silence the Mad Scientist.
I prefer silencing it in almost every scenario, other than you're losing health and you need to survive.
Yeah.
Just because that secret trap is so big. Wow, Garzilla comes out.
That's cheating!
We said only 7 legendaries, guys.
He has 8. And he already has the 7 mana slot filled, at least I think.
I have no
Oh,
time
Sylvanas
for
here.
this.
It's pretty good knowing that he doesn't have to
Right.
deal with Freezing Trap. It's just played for the body at this point. Oh well, he doesn't know that he doesn't have to deal with Freezing Trap. He wasn't able to check it last time.
Sorry about that. That didn't quite. Mistake. That didn't.
And now that Keeper's gone, he can play High Main with a little bit more confidence. Even Keeper against the High Main, it's still really problematic to remove. It's still a 6/5 body. If you're using 4 mana, especially on turn 6, to just silence it.
Oh, I think Dog realized that, wait, did he make a mistake? I don't know. They keep joking around like that didn't quite hit the mark and a natural mistake, but like sometimes I was wondering if they actually meant it, because he drew the Cult Master, right?
Yeah.
But the way he sequenced it, he couldn't have played Cult Master because it would have been stolen by Sylvanas, so it didn't matter. Okay. Their emotes are just throwing me off.
They're mind gamesing you with the emotes.
Mind gamesing.
That's a word. 2 words.
I don't speak TJ.
Nobody does. I don't even speak
Time
TJ.
waits for no one.
Oh yes, you do.
Things just come out. I can't control it.
So does he want to get rid of the first half of this high main? Guess that's the best course of action. You can't take that damage. Oh, he rats for 1.
Where shall
And
I
he gets the Druid Claw. And he knows that this is Snake Trap. So, a very nice pickup here, but he's also got bigger problems on the horizon. How do you deal with the Godzilla? Do you have to combo that thing?
If you thought Savannah High main was difficult to deal with, I mean, guys, really, it's vulnerable to BGH once you damage it. But if you don't have something to remove it, it can get out of control very, very quickly.
You might have to combo this. Oh, but if he combos it, then the Snake Trap comes out. It's too risky. Godzilla might just OTK you if you're not careful. Like, what if he just has like some way to damage it and then increase it? Does Xixo know that this was created through Web Spinner as well? What if he legitimately thinks that Dog's including Godzilla in all of his decks?
If he's keeping track of the cards, you have to sort of assume. Well, I guess, I don't know. It's tough to say.
Oh, he's gonna swipe. Oh, that's so smart. Okay, never mind. Yeah, so you can intermate swipe this. 48.
48.
96.
Do you think we'll see more Godzilla play? I think it's actually a decent card. It's only 7 mana.
It's a fun card, that's for sure.
Yeah. It doesn't have like immediate impact, like other 7 drops like Baron Geddon or Dr. Boom. Dr. Boom doesn't necessarily have immediate impact, but it's just a lot more problematic to deal with, I suppose.
Sure. Oh boy. This is still a really bad spot because of Unleash the Hounds and Knife Jugglers.
And he's able to follow it up with the Colt Master as well, if he so chooses. And it looks like that is going to be the play here now.
To the face. I don't know if that's the ideal one. Maybe it is. Oh, he's going to set up for a potential lethal kill. So if you kill command, you have a chance to just straight up win. So Dog, can he tie it up? Xixo does get another life for 1 turn.
Nobody's having really good luck today with their rag shots, neither of these players. Dog has a little bit less theatrics.
If you play Kill the Zod, I mean, it's he can hypothetically keep shooting this Senjin.
If it shoots Kel'Thuzad, then you just basically wasted a Kel'Thuzad.
Right.
I guess it's not necessarily wasted because the other outcome would be you dying.
I mean, Dog is just to pick up kill command. This game's over. He's got Deathwing.
I don't think it even really matters. Right now, he's just so far ahead.
Oh wow! Wow! What a draw!
Well,
Alright.
So now it's like a 50-50. No matter what happens, either he kills Kel'Thuzad and Senjin won't come back. Oh! The sequencing! Alright, well, he'll still
Okay.
kill Kel'Thuzad. Man, if he hit the Senjin, wow, what an opportunity that could have been. Dog, he's breathing a huge sigh of relief that it wasn't the worst case scenario. The middle scenario happened. The best case was the end of the game right there.
Well, still, I mean, unlike last game, there wasn't lethal damage staring at him on the other side.
Still hilarious, though. Still quite hilarious. The banana will also keep it a little bit more resilient. So, so that way you can't get through. But once again, it's going to come down to a Ragnarok shot. I mean, Hunter is still in firm control. Keep in mind that all Dog has to do is just whittle it down with hero power, right?
I mean, he's at 6 health. Like, even just a kill command off the top, second kill command here would just win the game. Alright, well this is it. And he's got Deathwing in his pocket for
Right.
a little bit of in emergency. Oh, he
Jeez.
stays alive.
Huh. So Xixo needs to start hero powering now, like so that way he can gain an extra turn. If he hero powers now, he'll gain one more turn, so he can't hit anything with 1 health.
Yeah, just start going face here.
I think
And-
Dog wants the Deathwing next turn. I think he wants to, but he doesn't. But at the same time, he doesn't want to show it if he doesn't have to. At the same time,
Yeah.
hero power. Remember, this could still end any second. The moment Ragnaros decides to make up his mind and end this game.
Yeah, or if Xixo is running... No, never mind. That could have been bad.
Alright, well, that's. I think that finally wraps it up because he doesn't have a taunt anymore. So the series is evened up, and whether or not Xixo will be able to take it off, or will Dog get his second win in a row, we'll find out in just a second with Rogue versus Hunter. That's gonna be really tough.
Apparently, since Undertaker's nerf, the secret to being successful as a hunter nowadays is just putting 7 legendaries in.
Put 7 legendaries and force your opponent to also have 7 legendaries in it.
We'll just ignore that part.
It's funny because it's like in this format, it seems like Hunter's still dominant. Look at that.
Hunter actually has an advantage because they're one of the classes that can reliably get more than 7 legendaries
Oh, you mean from Web Spinner?
from Web Spinner. I guess
I guess if
Mage,
you put Pilot Shredder, you also can get Nat Pagel and Thanos.
yeah, or Pod. Yeah, Pod. No, 4.
I was really
Murkai.
hoping to see Feign Death.
You can
I
get
gotta,
Murkai.
I gotta admit, I was really hoping to see Feign Death and see Sylvanas and see Sneasel Shredder. With that, it would have been really cool. But it seems like they're favoring more of just a straight up mid range style. And to be fair, this is not like the super aggressive, everyone hates this type of hunter deck. It's more of just like a slower control deck. In fact, it feels reminiscent of how Rogue would play.
Yeah.
It's a lot of its
Yeah.
matchups. It weaves in and out, sometimes draws a little bit more cards, puts a lot of pressure, and ends games with huge minions dealing damage. It's not really the type of hunter, but people see that portrait, they see that arrow hitting them for 2 damage every turn, and they'll be like, no, I'm not watching this stream. I'm muting the casters. I'm gonna spam Kappa, and I'm gonna alt F4.
I think one of the #1 comments in the initial Undertaker thread was "Rip Hunter."
I think there's like a quote that people keep pasting of Trump when they first nerfed a bunch of things.
Unleash the Hounds.
Yeah, they nerfed Unleash back to 3 mana, and they changed a few other things, and like Flare.
Starving Buzzard.
Right, Starving. Oh yeah, Starving Buzzard was the big nerf. And then like, you know, Trump made a lot of predictions, and he made a lot of right predictions with Next Rammus, but a lot of people were like, lol, he said Hunter was unplayable.
I don't need card draw when I could just point my cards at your face.
Well, Xixo can deal with the board. Takes a little bit of pain, though.
You can't help but have a little bit of a smirk on your face when Deathwing is in your hand.
It's true, it's a good point.
It's impossible. If it's a golden Deathwing, especially if it's a golden Deathwing and it's the only golden card in your deck. I'm not saying that that's how it is for Dog, I'm just saying if it is. Which sometimes is the case for me when I decide to play my golden Deathwing, which I have one of.
Freezing Trap, by the way. For Dog. I think Dog doesn't play Hunter much. Because I'm pretty sure Kill Command becomes golden by the time you hit level 60 Hunter. And the fact that Dog doesn't have golden Kill Command means he doesn't play this class a lot. Which means... Wait, no, but he has a golden Hunter portrait. Oh, so he's just choosing not to play golden Kill Command.
Why? Okay. Well, he actually explained this one time on his stream. He said he doesn't even look at whether or not it's golden when he picks his cards. He makes, like everything he does with Hearthstone, he even makes his decks fast.
He's just a fast man.
He is.
He's the fastest man.
If I ever meet him in real
Ladies,
life,
get at him.
I'm gonna challenge him to a race.
Well, not a race when he's playing Hunter, because he will definitely be in a decent spot. Now, Rogue supposedly can leverage a lot of their cards like Sap against high mains. That's what used to happen in the past. Without it, it becomes a lot more difficult.
Yeah, especially since they're, you mentioned earlier, they sort of play similarly, but the Hunter will usually come out on top just because the hero power is just going to whittle down, whittle down, whittle down. And eventually the Hunter will just have the ability to close out games a lot sooner than the Rogue would have the ability to close out games.
Xixo just needs mana, right? If he had the Azure Drake with the removal, it just goes to show you how big that Hunter's mark was actually. Because if he kept that Azure Drake, the Eviscerate would have cleaned up the high main. You would have cycled with the. That is so painful.
Yeah. He clears the board and puts a creature out, but I mean, he took 6 damage. He's already at 15 health, so.
He's really banking on the fact that there's not much left. Kodo's reasonable.
Yeah.
3/5 body challenges.
Doesn't allow you to weave in your hero power, and you know that Azure Drake plus Eviscerate is actually relatively common for a turn 7 play for Rogue. And of course, it does happen.
Right. Well, that's a big problem.
Oh yeah. One of the best things to do on turn 7 for just about any class.
No. I don't know if you can invite him into a race though. Even though it's like you do have your own answer, it's just he's at 26 and you're at 15.
I think you have to deal with his Dr. Boom.
That requires you to use Fan of Knives, which, by the way, those boombots still might do a lot of damage to you.
I think this is still pretty reasonable.
How much damage is this? 3, 5, 7, 12?
Wow. I mean, he does have...
Yeah, I say go for it.
Yeah.
Although Fan of Knives might be problematic. It's really hard to pass it up, though. Because you're going to be a couple hero powers away. Alright, so using the Hyena to start building it. That'd be hilarious if you try to build the Hyena and then you get sniped by the Boombot.
Worst comes to worst, you can always Deathwing.
Yeah. I think kill command in the face here is alright. Put him down to 3 health. Xixo will be able to, might be able to survive. I mean, these boombots might just end it.
Whoa! That's a big draw.
I was not anticipating that.
But one thing though is
I bring life.
that he could end up falling down even a little bit in health even after that. Oh, 1 damage to the face. He's got to be pretty relieved about that.
4 damage in retaliation. That Alex Straza draw was so big.
And he's 1 mana off Deathwing.
Also true.
He can't even go to his fallback. And now there's lethal on board for the next turn. Wow.
This needs to actually hit Dr. Boom.
That's game.
That's game.
Wow.
That Alex Straza has single-handedly saved Xixo and stopped Dog's run, so Xixo will win $1,000 and $250 stolen from Dog. Dog walks with 750. We're so close to the Deathwing. He played the Deathwing.
1 mana away from Deathwing, and Deathwing would have almost for sure secured the game for him because Xixo at that point had gone through a lot of his removal, had gone through a lot of his big threats.
Yeah. Very tightly contested. What a fun series. Honestly, a fun series, and I'm kind of relieved because I remember reading this challenge halfway through. Like we were making decisions, and I was like, yeah, let's just do 7 legendaries with 7 different mana costs. And I was like, man, this has a lot of potential to backfire if everyone picks Warrior.
Yeah.
And then no one picked
Nobody.
Warrior. And then people are putting in like old Murkai and Malygos, and it's like, that's really cool stuff. So maybe we'll continue to see that trend. We do have a few other players playing unique classes. There's a priest, there's a shaman, there's another mage out there somewhere, as well as a few warlocks, and of course we've yet to see our first paladin.
All right, well, you can see on your screen there the matchups. We've already seen Dog take out Hype 3-1, then Xixo take out Dog 3-2. Of course, Xixo will move on to our next match to face Trump. So we'll see if Trump can steal away some money from Xixo and move on to try and become the king of the day, or if Xixo can continue his run. Made it into this tournament to the open bracket, the only open player to make it today. And we'll see if he can take it all the way.
Yeah, we still have Reynad following up that match, and then Tides of Time, Koyuki, and Tiddler Celestial. It's a star-studded lineup, honestly. And we'll see how far these guys can go. That series is brought to you by our partners over at Newegg.com with Newegg Esports. Thank you to Crucial, Western Digital, and Cooler Master, as well as Plantronics for giving us a lot of support towards the end of the season. And of course, the reason why we're doing this thing in the entire first place, guys, is because we're sponsored by Seventh Son. That's why there's 7 legendaries and 7 matches for $7,000. It's a lot of sevens. You can find out more about it. We're showing the trailer, we're showing the portrait, and it's coming out next week on February 6th, right, TJ?
Yes, it is. So if you guys want to check it out, go for it. It's going to be pretty cool. And they were friendly enough and nice enough to sponsor us. And I was pleasantly surprised when I heard about it, but I think it's going to be a really cool movie.
I agree. In a few more minutes, we're going to come back with our third match of the day. It's Xixo versus Trump. Stay tuned.